Uh, it's a rather solemn day today as um, our facades break apart and reality sinks its teeth back in. Uh, there is a death in the family today on my mother's side, a cousin of mine. Uh, it was a drug-related death, and essentially it overdosed. His brother had the dishonor of having to discover his deceased body in a vehicle. So very solemn news, and it's times like this when uh, we reflect on moments we've shared with the deceased, whether they be positive times, negative times, whatever, that they serve to shape us, to further build bonds. Maybe the bonds were even abstractly built. But needless to say, we feel it. It resonates. It reminds us of our being human. It reminds us that our times here are finite. We have a beginning, we have an end. And once it boils down to it, it's a short life. And it's unfortunate when it's very short. It's cut, that much of an extreme amount of life is cut away. And sometimes it gets to the point when you're into that drug and stuff, how much of that short life was even yours? You know, how much of that was the master controlling the puppet? So it's unfortunate. You know, when we're here for such a short time, it's always a gift when we can live our lives the way we wanted to live them, that we can be who we wanted to be, and all those things that serve to pull us down, you know, we don't have to deal with, fortunately. You know, some people, unfortunately, once they get to a certain point, they basically sleepwalk to the gallows. And that's a sad line and a sad truth. And, you know, sometimes you've got to take that leash that's leading you, and it's so much harder to do than just saying these mere words. And not being an addict myself, I can't justify anything of what I say, but it's I just know that when it hits home, it hits home hard. It's heartfelt. You know, the grieving family, especially, you know, the people that were extremely close. I know I had personally shared some big life moments with them. We have definitely grown distant in these past 5 to 8 years, but there was a point in my life when he was a big part of my life, and there's actually a defining moment that we actually shared that has actually forever shaped my character. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but it's you know, it's shocking. You know, sometimes the reality hits you long after the person's gone, of how much they meant to you, even if it was in a small way. You know, everyone's here to help craft you into you, and it's just super unfortunate that happens. And there are definitely more people in the family who this can serve as a wake-up call, and it's sad that is how wake-up calls, you know, happen. They have to be that extreme, but that's, you know, that's one of the unfortunate things of life. And so, back to this life being finite, it's moments like these that bring us back to a realism, that, you know, make us realize that time that we have enjoyed, time well spent, is never a waste. You know, I think it always baffles me when someone says that's such a waste of time, such a waste of money, such a waste of effort. If that gave you joy, it wasn't a waste at all. But if the joyous thing is slowly destroying you, slowly decaying you, it's the biggest waste. It's one of the biggest wastes you could ever conceive. And this speech is definitely breaking out not just the drug use, but anything that holds you back and that's altering your life for the worst. It's just, it has to go. It has to go before these events like this, you know, roll over it. And unfortunately, with how many meth labs are springing up, and so many, and just drug lords invading, coming up from Mexico, and all these kingpins and whatnot. It's truly, it's heart wrenching, and it's crazy. It's a true terror. It's a true problem, and it hits home with someone every single day. Some people get no break from this sort of stuff, and so you should definitely live this life the way that you wanted to live it. Maybe maybe you choose to be some kind of renegade. Maybe you want to be some sort of militia. I don't know. Whatever it is that drives you, that makes you happy, you should go for it 100%. At the end of the day, when our life comes to a close, other people look at what kind of life we lived, and not right away, but eventually they make their judgment calls. It's not that anyone else's opinions matter, but that is the legacy you leave behind. The legacy that you crafted in your mind, the life that you lived. It becomes the stuff that other people talk about, that's passed down from family, that's spread like wildfire, spread like disease. That sickness that takes over, and humans have that mentality. They hop on the train of judgment, and then the truth is often buried behind these layers of fabrication that we've constructed ourselves. And the reality is, we always can't live the exact way we want to live, but we should always strive to do things that make us happy and that are beneficial to us. And people that look on the outside in only get a glimpse of who you truly are, of what was truly going on, and sometimes it's all people should ever get to see. Are the glimpses. It's your life. It's no one else's, and I think you should always construct yourself and always leave openings, big openings in your character that may be flaws, because they can be worked upon. If you close those circuits, they're closed, but if you leave those flaws, those little flaws can always be little areas that can be patched upon, expanded upon. You grow, and then you build upon that growth. It's all about being you. And in such a short amount of time, I don't think anyone ever reaches their zen. I don't think anyone ever truly becomes them. And maybe that's the point of why we're here. Maybe we strive to build the perfect character. Such a strong, it's just a strong moral lesson. And it's just at times like these, when there are deaths, that, again, our eyes are opened. And unfortunately for Jesse, he has, he's gone on to see the truth of what lies on after this. No one can say for sure what happens now. Maybe he was just here a short amount of time, and he was here to serve a function, and that's it. Thinking maybe there's some other higher purpose. Either way, he's gone on to see the truth, and we're here now, just taking everything a day at a time. And the family, my heart and everything goes out to the family, especially this close family that are hit extremely hard, and the people that just have to grieve it. And it's going to take a long time for some people to get this sort of thing out of their head and push it away, and let that the weight of the death quit dragging them down, and it will take time. That's everything that can be patched, and that death opens things in people. Again, they open these other openings. They could be opening up the fact about drug abuse, and it helped build upon that part of the character. We're all flawed. No one's ever flawless.